begin the program part of the evening. In case you don't want to hire those gals, that's a Whitworth. They're a student from Whitworth, that's for sure. And they were so good. I'm so glad that we have this opportunity to celebrate Bishop Wells and all these years, these 18 years of his fine leadership. Did you hear something? Did you hear something? Someone knocking on the door.
I bet you didn't expect to see me here tonight, did you? Well, or should I say Wells? What a spectacular evening we're in for tonight. And thank you for all of my closest friends being here. You'll notice something about me. In 500 years, my accent has changed just a bit. I know you're a little shocked, but I made trips to Norway. I made trips to North Dakota. And so my accent has changed over the years. And so sometimes the German just doesn't come out right. So I have to default to my native tongue, which I'm not really sure what it is yet. Mark, you seem a little kind of confused about this. Would you please come up here? Yeah, you, yeah. The other Martin. Some people were expecting. It's so good to meet you after all of these years. Yeah. Would you kindly have a seat over there? Yeah? Yeah. Because of the language barrier, however, we do need to say a few phrases. But I need my interpreter to come up here. Would you please come up? Because I know it's going to be hard for you to understand. Okay. I'm glad to see that you have invited all of your closest friends. You have aged well.
Clink, you idiot! I know nothing.
I wish you could hit the 500 years ago with me.
Connie here, Leavenworth. Washington.
You need a little napkin to grab one. And so, I would like for you to indulge me for a few minutes.
Connie your beer. On a heifer bush.
Indulgence, well, yes, indulgence. You got that. He's sharp. He's sharp. After a bit, we're going to talk, okay? We're going to have a little conversation because you and I are a lot alike.
Ich liebe dich, Martin Bells. Ja.
It is well with my boy.
Oh, yeah. we have a little song that we're going to invite you to sing. Just happen to have my flute with me tonight. Since we're all Lutherans, we'll go ahead and play flute. Oh, man, it's hard to put this thing on. I got so much garbage. Thank you. You've done this before. Am I being honored with a doctorate, another one? This is an echo song. I mean, you echo. I don't echo. I lead. All right? Are we hot? Thanks. Sing about Martin. Sing about Martin. Sing about caring. Sing about caring. Sing about peace. Sing about peace. All around the world. All around the world. Sing about Martin. Sing about Martin. Sing about caring. Sing about caring. Sing about peace. Sing about peace. All around the world. All around the world. Sing over Martin. Well, that was not good. Sing over Martin. Sing over Sturgeon. Sing over Dunfrieden. Off the guns and out. Sing over Martin. Sing over Dasleben. Sing over Dunfrieden. Off the guns and out. So I'll sing about Martin. Sing about Martin. Sing about caring. Sing about caring. Sing about peace. Sing about peace. All around the world. All around the world. Sing about Martin. Sing about Martin. Sing about caring. Sing about caring. Sing about peace. Sing about peace. All around the world. Harmony, harmony. Ooh, nice. After 500 years, they haven't gone flat. All right, I'm gonna need Martin. All right, thank you. Is it all right if I leave this here? All right. Stage. Well. As I mentioned before, we have the same name. You knew that. And thank God your parents named you Martin. They could have named you Orson. You were lucky. You see, Martin comes from the Latin Martinus, which is a derived form of the name of the Roman god Mars, the protective god of the Latins. And so I wish to congratulate you, dear Martin, on being the good shepherd of our synod, the protected one. The discerning process for Martin, this Martin, as far as not running for bishop for what, the 8th term? It was a long, drawn-out process, but I got a copy of the letter that you sent to the Synod Council. Yeah. And it sounds eerily familiar. This is what it said in a portion of the letter. Unless I am convinced by people from church-wide, the Eastern Washington-Idaho Synod, the Scriptures, or by plain and clear reason and arguments, I can and will not retract, for it is neither safe nor wise to do anything against conscience. Here I stand, I can do no other. God help me. Amen. That was word for word, his resignation letter. Or no, it wasn't really resignation. All right, so speaking of letters, some people have written letters to commemorate this fine occasion. And in fact, I have brought with me a personally autographed letter. Actually, it's a postcard. So I'd like to present that. It was a long trip from Deutschland. So I'd like to present this. This is really from Wittenberg. To you, signed, congratulations for serving the bishop as bishop for 18 years, signed Martin Luther. Hand delivered. But let's take a moment and let's hear from some other people that have been dear to Martin over the years. This one from our former vice president of our synod, Susan Berg. Don't worry, it's okay. Here, and Tor didn't sign it, just Susan. You, dear Martin, you have been a gift to the Eastern Washington-Idaho Synod, to the Region 1 of the ELCA, to the Conference of Bishops, and to me. It was an honor to serve alongside you as Synod Vice President. One of my favorite memories, I guess it does get kind of good here. One of my favorite memories to recall is of a road trip through southern Idaho, when you shared your vast geological knowledge while wearing an apron for in-car dining. Seriously, it is the best use of an apron, and I think of you every time I put mine on. The apron has become, now get serious, a metaphor for me. This is from Susan. Ministry is creative, delicious, and messy. We prepare as best we can and clothe ourselves for the adventure, trusting that the Spirit is leading. I am grateful to have witnessed firsthand the courage, endurance, and grace that it takes to tackle the many hats of a synod bishop. You handled it all with integrity, thoughtfulness, and deep care. I appreciate the partnership, especially your guidance and encouragement during important and challenging discernment times for the Synod, and for me personally. Thank you for nearly 2 decades, that sounds like a long time, 2 decades of wise service in this role. Your passion and compassion have been a gift to us all. May God continue to bless you as you begin the next steps of your next journey. With gratitude and joy, Susan Lindsay Berg. And from our dear Bishop Elizabeth Eaton. Yes. I met her last year. She visited me. Or was it the other way around? Yeah. Yes. Dear Martin, so you are finally going to hang up your crozier? Is that how you say it? Crozier? I was scared about that one. I am not sure if you even have those in Region 1. I don't think we do. Northwest Washington does? Good for you. After all these years, decades, synod years are measured like dog years. You have earned the gratitude of your people and a well-deserved rest. You will be missed by your synod, your colleagues in Region 1, and by your brothers and sisters in the Conference of Bishops. Your retirement signaled the changing of the guard. Only Steve Ulestedt is left to remember, that's right, we're back in Norwegian, is left to remember the early days when Moses sent you forth and camped at Helium where real bishops were forged. Chris is laughing like crazy up here because he knows the inside story of all this. I am particularly grateful for your thoughtfulness, your skillful use of language, and your irenic spirit. I remember at Joint Bishops' Academy of Teaching Theologians when you talked me down from some really egregious speechifying. I was a new bishop serving on a panel and really had no business issuing rigid opinions. You quietly invited me to take a breath and open myself to the wisdom others had to offer. I have drawn on that advice many times while serving as synod bishop and as presiding bishop. Thank you. Now it is time to let go. Some things you might be glad to let go of. Travel, anonymous hotel rooms, committee meetings, congregational conflict, to name a few. Yeah, he's still counting. But some things will be harder to let go. The people and the congregations of the Eastern Washington-Idaho Synod, ordinations, deep relationships with colleagues, pastors, and deacons, concern for the future of your synod. Place them all in God's hands. We'll be all right. While it is true that no one but another bishop can understand what it means to serve as bishop, it is also true that no one but a bishop's spouse can understand what it means to serve as a bishop's spouse. Thank you, Susan, for sharing Martin with us, and thank you for your own gifted and extraordinary ministry in this church. May God bless. May God richly bless this new chapter in your life, and with peace and joy, your sister in Christ. She signs it Liz. That's nice. So that's from Bishop Eaton. What a nice word. As I said, we have lots in common. Yes. Including how we were called to ministry. You might recall that I was caught in a thunderstorm and lightning struck. And I fell on my knees and I vowed to St. Anne that I would enter the monastery. And I did, much to my father's, consternation. That lightning strike was important. It caused sparks. You, Martin, I have heard it said that your confirmation pastor, Glenn Broke, at Hope Lutheran in Anchorage, was a large influence in your faith formation. Glenn first mentioned the possibility of you becoming a pastor to your mother. I'm told that you also had Jacob-like wrestling matches in your dreams while trying to discern God's will for your life. As you know, I went to law school for about 4 years at the University of Erfurt, while you went to law school at what is now known as Gavin University School of Law, and took your bar exams. But before knowing whether or not you had passed them, you entered seminary for a single year of discernment. You know all this, don't you? Right? No, you don't. At the end of the discernment year, you were prepared to leave seminary and begin practice because you had passed your bar exams and were ready to go back up to Alaska. But that spring, before everyone left campus, there was a certain young lady named Susan Brio, also a seminarian, that told you that she hoped to see you in the fall. And kissed you on the cheek. Lightning! You returned to seminary the next fall. Which just goes to prove that unlike my beloved Katerina Pancora, Susan did not appear out of a fishbowl barrel. She was, there we go. All right, another letter. No, not a letter. This is a video from Tom Witt and Mary Joyce. So if you need to see it from the side, can you see it there?
Hi, Martin.
Greetings, Martin.
It's Tom Witt and Mary Croyce here. Well, in fact, sad as we're not there with you in person, but we're live from China right now.
So you're leading a worship service on Sunday for a Protestant church in Shanghai and attending Anissa's high school graduation here this weekend. quite sad to be unable to share music with you all this weekend in Spokane.
We really wish we could be there with you. And Martin, we just want to say how much we love you, what a wonderful job we know you've done, and how much we're thinking of you in the future, and what all that might bring for you.
So in lieu of being there to lead music, we thought we'd quickly sing Martin's favorite global song from Nigeria. First we'll sing it in the Yoruba language, and then we'll sing the lesser-known English translation of this song.
Ready?
Okay.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let go, let go, let go.
Very nice. Dear friends of yours, I know, and so that's very special to have heard that. You understand that I spent a year in Orford Castle near Erfurt, and during that time I was quite ambitious. I translated the entire New Testament into common German in less than a year. In fact, some say 11 weeks. I'm not sure the time went fast when I was back there. But you, Martin, had a similar experience. You went to Holden Village for 5 years that you were, hiding out up there in the Cascades. And you also translated some words, or at least you, even if you didn't translate them yourself, you kind of nurtured these words. Things like, for waste management, garthology. Okay. We used to know before that people were waiters and waitresses, but then became waitri. Worker bees became mavericks. A 1944 bomber that I guess was used to load bombs became called the Imp. You remember the Imp? Okay. What did the Imp do? You drove the Imp. Okay. He drove the Imp. So things like that. It was amazing the years that he and Susan were in Holden and what they did for. And this is very serious. They were amazing. They changed the culture of that place. They really did. And so we can thank you for that. I would like to call Lisa Farrell forward at this time. Mind if I sit by you? Oh wait, no, you're going that side. I better get over here. But Lisa, you need to come over on this side to get to the mic.
Okay, of course I know you will never guess what that is. We've been very busy here in the Synod, so go ahead and open it up. And I didn't use up all my thunder last night. I want to tell you more about this project. 51 different people in our Synod were involved in the creation of these quilts. It was a lot of hands and a lot of love. And having made quilts for other people, when you're involved in the process of making a quilt for someone, first the daydreaming phase, and then every stitch is an act of love, and it's an act of prayer, and it's an act of well-wishing. And a number of the people that helped with that project are here in the room tonight. Yeah. And Martin's quilt is also a singing quilt. Kathy very cleverly found out a favorite hymn, and it's the Canticle of the Turning. So that's embroidered onto your quilt. And there are stories for every square, and I will be writing a document so you'll know who and which churches each square is from. And the machine quilting on it, on the dark sashing, is the vine. And I was thinking, I am the vine, you are the branches. So you can think of that with your quilt, and you too, Helga. And if you look at the back side, you'll see that the backing is salmon. And to me, that really symbolized, iconic animal of our synod, and the fact that we're all connected by the waters of the Columbia and Snake watersheds, and the sockeye salmon, well, the salmon in general are a very iconic part of that. So think of that as you enjoy your quilt. And Martin here already said this, but I want to show, there's one square I just want to tell the story of. It's the square on the very bottom, the viewer's right-hand corner, and Martin's left-hand corner. And you'll notice that it has a rugged cross, and it has the staff for the Good Shepherd. It's from Good Shepherd Lutheran in Pocatello. And I just really had the same feeling that Martin has been such a good shepherd for our synod, and that particular square really captured that sentiment, and we love you and we wish you well.
Truly is a blanket of love. So thank you so much, Lisa, and the rest of all the people that put that together. Speaking of shepherd, I once supervised 10 monasteries. I don't know if you knew that. But as a district vicar, I held administrative authority over 10 Augustinian monasteries. Yeah, in my day. You, Martin, outdid me. You were at one time the good shepherd of over 100 congregations. So that's pretty cool. From Jacksonville, Wyoming to Holy Ghost. So thank you so much. This is a letter from another dear friend, Dan Erlander. Dear Martin, thank you so much for your friendship over the years. Karen and I met you and Susan at Holden Village the summer of 1980 and talked a bit how it would be fun to work in ministry together at some point. Little did we know that the opportunity would come up in 1986 to be campus pastors together at PLU. The three of us, you, Susan, and I, had differing interests and gifts, but this worked very well in that team ministry. In fact, I often refer to those 8 years as my Camelot years. We also truly enjoy being part of your family and have appreciated the continuing contact we've had with your daughters. Karen and I wish you a smooth transition into whatever the next may be, and send our love and hugs to you. Peace be with you, Dan Erlander. And Dan drew a little picture of Martin. If you're familiar